crown jewels of whatever.
Oh, they'll protect their own. And even though the government has not allowed them or has forced them to deal in cash, and then they come in and get robbed, and many of them can't get insurance because it's an illegal operation as well.
Perhaps Bitcoin.
So the thing is, they're not going to be forgiven their taxes.
That's a good
point. It does not. That money does not come out of the tax money, that they're saving when they steal your safe because they know you've got a safe loaded with cash because you got nowhere else to put it. They steal your safe. You're still going to be on the
Liberty
hook for all
Vaults,
that
folks.
For all that tax.
Well, and here's the thing, because I have to file sales tax reporting as well. I'm a retailer. And it's that they say, look, if you're collecting that tax and you don't file it, then you are stealing the government's money. That's not your money. It's the government's money. But if somebody comes in and robs me and takes that money, then I was like, you still have to pay us out of your own funds.
Right.
It's like a sidewalk. You're responsible for maintaining it, but you don't have any control over it.
But really, getting back to the story, to me, this is one of those things, and I just have to say, look, there are 227 medical marijuana patients have applied as of November 1st. If they know how to apply for a card, they know how to register to vote. And I'm saying we're coming into election year. And I think it's time all of our delegation in Washington realize this. Because this is going to be a serious thing. There's a lot more people invested now in medical marijuana as a treatment program than there was 2 years ago. And it's time, Inhofe, Langford, it's time you wake up to this.
Yeah.
Because this is serious. I don't want you to lose office. I support both of you. But I also support this kind of safety that banking allows us.
It's amazing how far the government has infiltrated into our lives.
Yes.
To where I'm running it. Most people who don't run a bar, restaurant business have no idea that the government not only calculates everything you're doing, but the percentage of how many, are you primarily a bar or primarily a restaurant? 51%. Yeah. And then, depending on how much money you make, you've got to tell them how much money you might make 3 months in advance. And then if you're wrong, you pay a penalty. Yeah. And it just goes on and on and on. Yeah. It's amazing.
You know what, to that point, right now we're in the open enrollment period, for the Obamacare, those who get their insurance
the criminals
through the market, and is that you have to tell them how much you're going to make next year. Okay?
Oh, right.
And they will base your subsidy on if you make what you say. Now, if you make more, they're going to penalize you. Here's the worst thing. If you get hurt next November or, December, and all of a sudden your income drops off, and all of a sudden you're below the poverty line, now you just committed a fraud because Obamacare does not give you a subsidy if you fall below the poverty level. They screw you over. Right. They only help the middle class.
I was promised that Herr Obama thought about everything when he created his fascist corporatist scheme.
I did a quick study one time to try to figure out why it is that a gallon of gas that has to be drilled, processed, etc. costs $2.50, but a gallon of milk is $5.
Mm-hmm.
Comes falling out of the udder of a cow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the federal government. Okay, David. The federal government has control over the milk production in this country for so long. Not only do they tell you how much milk you can produce, they tell you how much you can charge, and then there's what's called a milk make allowance, because they tell the milk producers how much you're allowed to profit on your milk sales.
Right.
Okay. They also control grocery stores and how much they can make on their product.
Yeah. Oh, in the 30s, when they had the milk riots. I don't know if you remember that.
I thought they were a milk massacre.
Well, there was at least milk protests. It was because FDR started all of this, and they went to Washington, and in front of the Capitol they dumped milk in the stores.
I saw the film,
and we've all seen the films in grade school and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, but what they did in the 60s into the 70s in just about every state is they passed laws that said farmers Now you can only sell to one of our licensed regulated milk
We
processors.
should have never let it get this far.
Yeah.
And
Well-
now we're in such a mess because it's just tranche upon tranche upon tranche of these socialist implementations.
Yeah.
And it's so hard now
Well,
to
And the
find out where
electorate's
to cut.
accepted it. All
But
the citizens
in
have
the
accepted
name
it.
of safety.
Yes.
That's what it's always in
And
the
savings
name
of money. We'll give away our freedom to save the money.
It's
Well,
just you know
But
what
it's only speculation. The games are all speculative. They don't even
Yeah,
exist
And
most of
they
the
never
time.
they never pan out. They
Yeah.
never come
They
true.
don't even exist.
But the answer really is awareness. We got
You're not going to raise awareness, are you?
we gotta
We're gonna try to use it as
but,
important.
but the
Educate
point
people.
is that we do have to educate people because frankly we got 350 million of us in this country. We have 3.5 million right here in Oklahoma. We can solve these problems. We have people who are dealing with these things on a daily basis. If they would quit going along
Yeah.
and work with those of us who want to work with these things to solve the
Gotta
problems,
put the pressure
we,
on.
we
Gotta
can
get our
then
guys
we
in.
can then go. But like I've been saying, people have their pet areas that they want to deal with, and forget it,
Yes.
whatever. I don't care about everything.
I agree with your call that we all have to become constitutional.
Yeah, but
You have to
that's
protect all these
the
rights,
raising
protect
awareness. You listen, my neighbor didn't rake his leaves, I raked mine, a bunch of his blew onto mine. I went over, started yelling, complaining of him, and he says, "Quit bitching at me." I said, "I'm just raising awareness."